Hey everyone, and welcome back to Slowpoke Racing and to the Ultimate Racing League. And this is the start of a brand new Wednesday evening challenge or championship, whatever you want to call it. Round one, race one. Now a little bit about this championship. Each of the drivers have got a choice of two GR3 cars, so they've picked you two cars for themselves to use. I'm not sure if they use one in one race, one in another race, we shall find out, or they just use them alternative weeks, but they have a choice of two cars. Excuse me. Liveries are anything they like, I believe, so we'll have a good look at those as the guys get around the track over the coming weeks. We've got two 25-minute races. In race one, the tyre rule is mediums only, so it is just a sprint race using the mediums. And in race two, it is softs and hards that have to be used. Now then, in race one, the fuel is set at ×3 tyres ×1. So, as I've said, it is just a sprint race, get round as fast as you can. In race two, though, the fuel is up to ×5, the tyres are ×3. So there will be a stop, obviously, to change the tyres, but there could be fuel issues as well. So the guys have got to work that out. So it could be interesting. Could be a very interesting series. We've got random weather, and I believe the races are going to be rolling starts. Now, the grids are set. Race one is going to be qualifying as normal. 10 minutes of qualifying will determine their grid positions for race one. However, race two, the League One guys, and this is League One if I forgot to mention it, the League One guys will be adopting the random grid generator thing that they used in the BTCC. Some hated it, some loved it, some couldn't be really that bothered, but it is going to be used apparently. So there will be a random number generator that is triggered to set the grid for race two, so that should be interesting as well. Race one then, we shall crack on with this one, shall we? Enough of my babbling. They're the rules, and if you don't understand them, well, you'll pick it up. I'm the same. I'm going to work it out as I go along. Race one at round one, Alsace Village, if that's how you pronounce it, over in France. It is a fictional track, 3.3 miles and 17 turns ahead of the guys. Pretty technical track, actually. Personally, I quite like this track, but it is very technical. I'm interested to see what some of these really fast guys, and we have got some very fast guys on track as well, so I'm interested to see how these guys take to this track. So full grid, which is a fantastic turnout for race one. So let's get this one underway. Oh, just before we get started, I do want to give a shout out to our sponsors, and that's W.GG, the energy drink for gamers, and also Eldridge Air Conditioning, and that's Harry Poppins, and he's been supplying trophies for league winners and things like that. So really do appreciate that from EAC and Dubby. And also, I want to say thank you to Brian Moncani, who always, whatever race is in, he always saves the replays for me so that I can bring these to you. So many thanks to Brian Moncani. And to Unforgiven, who organises and sets these races up. I know he has a little help from a couple of the other guys with testing and that, but it's Unforgiven that comes up with it. So massive thank you to you guys. So enough of that. Let's get on and find out where we all are on the grid. And as I said, 10 minutes of qualifying, and Osman has put himself up there in pole position in the Ferrari. Excuse me, a bit of a choke then. Neil Farmack sitting in second now. I believe Neil Farmack was the actual championship winner of the BTCC. So he's coming fresh off of that win, and it looks like he's in the Subaru. So Neil Farmack sitting in second. Wadru in third in the Mercedes, in the AMG. Can't get my words out this morning. Looking splendid as well, actually. We'll get a closer look at the liveries as the guys go around the track. Grasshopper is in fourth in the NSX. He does like an NSX, does Grasshopper. Stormfly in fifth in another AMG. Willard is in sixth in the BMW. Now, I think that's the sprint model. We'll get a close look, as I say, when the guys go around, but I'm pretty sure it's a sprint model. Unforgiven in the AMG as well, in seventh. Derg is in eighth. He's in the BMW. Looks like he's got a police livery on that. Viking is in ninth in the McLaren. Brian Moncani in 10th, also in a Mercedes AMG. 11th is Scooby. He's in the GTR. 12th is, well, it's a new name to me, YT or YT. Not seen this guy on grid before, so really looking forward to seeing what he can do. And welcome to URL if this is your first outing. Glad to have you. And yeah, hope you enjoy the race. T. Bennett, he's in 13th. Glad to have ditched the little Toyota that he had last season in the BTCC. He's now gone for the Peugeot, the RCZ, I believe. So hopefully he can have a better season this time around. Method, now that is a name that is not new to me, but I can't quite place where I've seen him before. I can't remember if he took part in the BTCC or not, or it might have been from somewhere else. I'm not sure, but anyway, Method is 14th on the grid. Nath just sitting behind him in the Mercedes. Oh, sorry, Method is in another NSX. Nath is in 15th in the Mercedes, and Stealth in 16th in another GTR. So that's your lineup for race 1. As I say, fantastic to see so many guys actually on the grid. It's going to make some interesting racing. So let's get this one underway. As I've already mentioned, it's a rolling start. 25-minute race as Osmond takes us across the line. Now, some of the guys, unfortunately, are going to be starting just as we're getting into that chicane at turn 16 and 17, like Stealth. So he's already on a bit of a back foot, but plenty of time to catch up as Osmond and that go around turn 1 and start on up the hill. Very, as I say, very tricky, very technical track, this one. And interested to see how the guys get on, but Osmond already looking to try and get a lead going as Woodrow moves up into second, Neil Farmack in third. So maybe that Subaru not that quick off the line. Grasshopper in fourth there with Stormfly already trying to put him under a bit of pressure. Sitting in fifth, everybody just trying to get some heat into those medium tyres. May take a couple of 3 laps before they are up to full temperature and they get maximum grip out of them. But there is still racing to be had in these early stages as Willard comes around in turn 7 in 6. Just behind him we've got Unforgiven in 7th and Derg. It is definitely a police car, isn't it? It just needs the blue light on top. Maybe he's hoping some of the guys in front of him will start to pull over. Wonder, oh no, we've got the Popo behind us. Better pull over. And I think that's exactly what Unforgiven did there to let Derg through. Maybe he thought Derg was on an emergency run. So let him go by. But Derg moves up into 7th, Unforgiven down into 8th as they start this very, very steep climb up towards the chicanes at turns 15, 16, 17. Under the big Gran Turismo arch they go into the final few turns, trying to avoid that barrier on the right as they all filter through. So Derg in 8th, then Unforgiven just getting past Derg again then. So Unforgiven retaking 7th position, Derg dropping down to 8th, Viking in 9th in that McLaren, all going a little bit out of sorts on the exit of turn 1. But gathering it up as Brian Moncani slots in behind him in 10th. We've got Scooby in 11th, then Tim, I keep calling him Tim, I think it's Tom actually. But Bennett in 12th with Method and Nath battling it out for 13th. Stealth has moved up one and poor old YT has dropped down to 16th. Started 12th on the grid, did YT, so he's lost a few places, so he may have had a bit of a moment, which is what's caused him to drop back a little bit, but hopefully he can get his foot down and get back onto the back of the pack. Oh, we've had a change of lead. Let's just see if I can find where that was while I was looking at everybody else. Oh no, it's a long way back. But sorry we missed that then, but Wadru now takes up the lead of this race from Osman in 2nd, then Neil Farmack in 3rd, followed by Grasshopper in 4th. These 4 trying to get away from Stormfly, sitting in 5th currently. as Stormfly takes an awful lot of grass there, so he's going to have dirty tyres moving up into turn 11. Now this is really a tricky turn, turn 11. You really have to get that car slowed down to get this turn done, otherwise you end up drifting too far out there onto the left, but everybody seems to be getting through it okay as they go up the hill through turn 12 and into turn 14. It's like, oh, now then, did somebody go? Oh, it is, it looks like Viking having a bit of a scrape with the barrier as the exit of turn 12 into 13, but recovered, and he's back on track into the last few turns into this chicane area, which is 16 and 17. Oh, and Viking has come undone again. It's just trying to get the car to slow down, but you're braking while turning as well, and if you get too early on the power straight afterwards, that's exactly what happens. So the back end has come all the way around on Viking, which has pushed him all the way to the back as YT goes through. So poor old Viking now back down into 16th, and quite a bit of work ahead of him to catch back up again, but the pack were still relatively close together actually. I'm just looking at the map on the top right hand corner. There is a slight gap, I believe, from Bennett back to Nath, but it's not massive, so everybody's still quite bunched up as Osborne tries to chase Wadru down. Now, we did say we're going to get a bit of a look at some of this livery, didn't we? So let's have a look at Wadru being out in front, and that does look pretty splendid, doesn't it? With the old pink flames all over it. So fantastic bit of work there from Wadru. You're going to see him coming, aren't you? Good looking car. Osman in the Ferrari. Well, there's a bit of everything on there, isn't there? Definitely got the Italian colours, but yeah, not much room for any more sponsors, but looking good nevertheless. We'll just do a couple and then we'll change again, and it looks like Grasshopper's coming under a bit of close attention from Neil Farmack. Neil Farmack really putting the pressure on as they come around turn 11 and make their way into turn 12 and then up the hill again. Don't want to push the car too far to the right. That's what happened to Viking, didn't it, on the last lap, but Grasshopper and Neil Farmack both getting through there very successfully. Now it's down the hill, braking hard to make this turn 15, then into the chicane, avoiding the barrier on the right hand side, and they do that really well. So it is still Grasshopper holding on to third at the minute, Neil Farmack in fourth, with Stormfly chasing these two guys down in fifth. He's quite happy to just sit there at the minute, and we know how quick Stormfly is. So he's just going to sit there, but he really needs to get a move on, because the likes of Woodrow and Osman are starting to open a gap. So if Stormfly wants to challenge for the win, he's going to need to start doing something pretty quickly, and he is at the minute having a bit of a cheeky look at the inside there of Neil Farmack as they go into turn 3. No doing no, Neil Farmack. Very good at defending, actually, is Neil. So Stormfly's going to find it a bit difficult to get by unless he can get onto a straight, get into the slipstream, get into a straight where Neil can do nothing about it. And that's exactly what Stormfly's trying to do as he gets right underneath Neil Farmack's car. Great little battle these two are having as we come around turn 7. Oh, both getting wheels on the grass, but surviving into this turn 8, which is a very long... Oh, and Grasshopper's gone off. Grasshopper, let's have a look and see what happened to him. Sitting pretty in P3, Grasshopper, and, well, did he not get the car slowed down, or did he... Well, he's just completely misjudged that turn 8. Goes up onto the grass, has a bit of a kiss with barrier, gets a bit of damage on the front bumper, but manages to get back on track. But he has lost, well, you can see he's lost about 4 spaces there, dropped down to 7th. Oh, and he's lost another one as well. He's got to get that damage repaired. Poor old Grasshopper, gone from 3rd down to 8th. He's coming under attack from Durban. I think the Popo are going to be pulling him over any minute now to check that that car is actually roadworthy. But Grasshopper's trying to get away. He's making a break for it. Well, that was unlucky for Grasshopper. However, the likes of Neil Farmack and Stormfly said thank you very much, and they've all moved up a spot. So at the minute, Woodrow is out in front, Osmond still in second, Neil Farmack in third, with Stormfly now sitting in fourth. Willard is fifth in the BMW. Still didn't see, did I? Let's have a, well, we'll have a look. Oh, who's that has just gone flying? Oh, it was Bennett. I thought it was. Just off camera, we just saw him out of turn one onto the grass, and around he goes, and a big old snog with Barry R. Poor old Bennett in the RCZ, now demoted down to the back of the pack again as Viking comes through to move up into 15th. Bennett drops down to 16th, so a bit of catching up to be done from him. Just shows you how tricky this track really is. So back up to our leader, and Wadru showing his class at the minute. Let's have a look at the time, shall we? We're just approaching 9 minutes, so still plenty of racing to be had. But Wadru trying to open a gap back to Osmond. There is a slight gap, but Osmond just definitely keeping in touch with him as they come around turn 8. This is where Grasshopper came unstuck last time. Neil Farmack sitting in third. Stormfly still in fourth. Can't really seem to catch up to the back of Neil Farmack, can he? I really thought that AMG might have just had a little bit more power than the Subaru, but Neil, not the way Neil Farmack drives it. So he is maintaining that gap back to Stormfly. Unforgiven now moved up into fifth. So Unforgiven started 7th, up into 5th. He's enjoying his race at the minute, not really being put under any kind of pressure. Willard and Grasshopper, however, are fighting it out for that P6. Grasshopper trying to make up for that mistake he made earlier at turn 8, a couple of laps ago. Tried to make his way back through the pack. He was in third, wasn't he? Dropped down to about 8. Managed to pick one space up, and looking at the back of Willard's BMW, so Grasshopper shouldn't be too long before he makes that move and moves up into P7. Although I think the BMW is going to be quite a match for that NSX, so it will come down to driver skill. Brian Moncani in 8th. Let's jump on board with Brian. We haven't had any on board, have we, at the minute? So we'll jump on board with Brian Moncani. Currently sitting in 8th position. A quick look behind us. We've got the Popo chasing us down, but not putting us under any pressure at the minute. Brian Moncani getting a right good view of the fight that's taking place just ahead between Willard and Grasshopper. Grasshopper on the inside as they come through turn 5, and just about gets the job done, although Willard is fighting back. A great move from Willard there. Now he's got some defending to do, and Brian Moncani sees the opportunity to go by Grasshopper and takes it. Although, where is Grasshopper? We've lost him. He's there, is he there? He's there somewhere. I'm going to have to get out of the car now. So there he is, he's side by side. So Brian Moncani saw his opportunity and pounced on it, and Grasshopper did not like that, did he? Not one little bit. So Grasshopper back down to 8th as Brian Moncani moves up into 7th and just seals that deal. And well, there's quite an old battle going on back here as the Popo fights it out with Scooby in the GTR, putting Derg under all sorts of pressure as well as they come down towards the final few corners underneath the GT arch. It is still Derg in 9th with Scooby in 10th, but desperate to get by him, and it looks like the Popo's making a move on Grasshopper on a straight. Maybe the BMW just a little bit too quick. Is the GTR as well. Scooby getting on the inside of Grasshopper. Grasshopper not having a great time. He's finding himself right in the thick of things, and everybody's picking on him. They've all managed to make a move on him. Nath down in 11th. Just about see the guys up ahead. Then we've got Method in 12th. YT in 13th. Stealth in 14th. All these guys not too far away from each other, so some good battles should be had back here as well. So Method, our only American driver on track, looking good at the minute in 12th. YT trying to chase him down in the Porsche with Stealth in 14th. Then we've got Viking after his coming off in, where was it? I think it was around about turn 13, wasn't it, when he hit the barrier just before the chicane area, which put him all the way to the back. And then Bennett has just had that massive kiss with the barrier coming out of turn 1, so that's why he's down in 16th. The Aussies had, though, pretty good car actually, from what I remember, quite a good all-rounder. So although not the best of starts for Bennett, it's going to be interesting to see what he can do this season. Back up to the top though, and our current race leader, ooh, I thought Osman was going to take a bit of a chunk out of the barrier there, but managed to just avoid it. Wadru still out in front with Osman. These two really starting to open up a bit of a gap now. Osman, I know, would desperately like to get a little bit closer to Wadru, get into the slipstream and put him under a bit of pressure, maybe make a move towards the end of the race. A couple of laps to go. I think Osman would like to make the pass and maybe open up a bit of a gap, but he's got to catch up with Wadru first. And well, say we've seen in the past, how many times has Wadru led from the front and nobody can just get anywhere near him. Very accomplished driver is Wadru, but then again so is Osman. Regular on the dailies, regular winner as well by all accounts, so Osman doesn't mess about either. Stormfly has made his way up into third, so he did get by Neil Farmack in the end. So another very quick driver in the shape of Stormfly, our Flying Dutchman. Had a good championship in the BTC, but had to miss a few races, which cost him the championship. Otherwise, I think he'd have been up there challenging Neil for the win. So let's just hope he can turn up for a few more races this season. Neil Farmack sitting in fourth in the Subaru. I think it's a Subaru anyway. Yeah, it must be. It is a Subaru. Unforgiven still sitting in fifth, having a good race so far is Unforgiven. In fact, let's have a look at the livery that Unforgiven has got on his car. Nice logo he's got going on there on the side. I do like a bit of black and green. I don't think you can beat a bit of black and green for livery. It just has a certain presence on track, doesn't he? And that certainly does look the part there, so well done to Unforgiven for that. Certainly does look cool out there. Brian Moncani always comes up with a good livery, does Brian Moncani, and he's done exactly that this time. Brian Moncani currently sitting in 6th, Willard in 7th, with the Popo, otherwise known as Derg, in 8th. Pity we can't get him a blue light for the top. I would really love it. If somebody knows how to put a blue light on the top of one of these cars, just let me know. I would love to see a blue light on the top. Grasshopper battling out for 9th. He's really had an up and down race, hasn't he? Mainly down. He started off really well, got himself up into 3rd and was looking pretty until he got it all wrong at turn 8, which is the 80. No, he's not coming to 8. He was just coming to turn 5 now. It was turn 8 that he had the issue, which cost him a lot of places. So yeah, mixed bag for Grasshopper. Scooby in 10th, having a good old fight with Grasshopper. The pair of them to and fro-in as Scooby tries to go around the outside at turn 8, and it was here that Grasshopper had his unfortunate incident. Nathan 11th, just watching these two fight amongst themselves up ahead, hoping that they'll take each other out and he can move up a couple of spaces. Then we've got Method Junior, or Method 13 Junior. Is it Junior or JR? I don't know, Method. I've got him Method. Method currently in 12th in the second of the NSXs that's on track at the minute. YT in 13th in the Porsche. Oh, we got that one a bit wrong and struggling to keep that Porsche in a straight line. Has he recovered it? Yes, he has. He's managed to hold on to it. He is going to get taken by Stealth. as Stealth in the GTR moves on through. YT got to be careful because of the dirt on the tyres. Not the best of places to pick up dirty tyres really as you're entering into that chicane. But trying to get them cleaned off as he pulls alongside Stealth and tries to go around the outside at turn 1. Again, not the best of ideas really. Does the sensible thing, gets the cutback done, slots in behind Stealth. Now he can start to make the move as they go up the hill. So YT having a good old sniff around the rear end of Stealth's GTR. As they come down towards turn 3, YT tries to get himself onto the inside of Stealth, giving each other plenty of room. Almost side by side as they come up towards turn 7. Sorry, turn 4. All looks the same to me. Stealth though just managing to hold on to 15th, but YT is going to keep that pressure on as we go through turn 6, then up towards turn 7. This left-hander, a good exit is what you need from here so that you can power on through to turn 8. This is this banked sweeping right-hander. Jump on board, but shall we, with YT as we chase Stealth through turn 8, down into turn 9, then into turn 10, which is where you're going to start thinking about braking, ready for turn 11. Down through the gears to take this tight right-hander, then it's back on the power through turn 11, up to the hill, under the arch, and YT having a bit of a look, isn't he, at Stealth? Very sensibly though, just backs out. Just keep the pressure on, but you do not want to be making too much of a move there. Now you can put the power down. Try and get a move done before you get to turn 1, or at least have a look up the inside, and that's exactly what YT is doing. Positioned his car really well into turn 1. And not a lot Stealth could do about that. That was a great move, but now he's looking at powering through his Stealth. Where has he gone? There he is. Has the GTR got a bit more than the Porsche? And Stealth looks like he's retaken 15th. He has, although YT is still on the inside then as they go around turn 3. Great little battle these two are having. We will leave them alone for a minute so we can have a quick look and see what's happening elsewhere. Wadru still with that gap back to Osman in second. These two really have pulled a gap back to Neil Farmer, currently sitting in third. Still got Stormfly for company, although Stormfly's not putting the pressure on him like I think he'd like to. Unforgiven in fifth, although he's been caught by Brian Moncani now, so Brian Moncani in sixth. He's now having a bit of a look at the rear end of Unforgiven's Mercedes, or AMG. Is it the 20? I think it's the 20. So Brian Moncani very shortly going to be thinking about making a move on Unforgiven and stepping up into P5. We are at 21 minutes, just over 21 minutes, so what, just over 3.5 minutes of this race to go. It is a long lap. Fastest lap so far is a 1:53.1 from Wadru. I'm just trying to work out how many laps we've got left, and you know what, I'm going to give up because my brain's just not functioning that quickly today. We are probably looking at what, two more laps after this one, I'm not sure. Excuse me. Got a Popo racing with Willard, just keeping his nose in front. So it is the two BMWs battling it out for P7. Excuse me. And at the minute, Derg is just managing to hold on to it. Willard though putting him under all sorts of pressure. Both evenly matched cars as we go through turns 5 and 6. So Willard trying desperately to get by Derg and move up into P7. Scooby in 9th. Excuse me. At the minute, can't quite get close enough to Willard to make a move on him, although he's got Nath leaning down his neck. Bit of lag there as well, I think, from Scooby. Not that he could do anything about it, but it does make it a bit difficult to overtake, so that'll be playing on Nath's mind. He's not sure which way Scooby's car's going to wobble next. All Nath can do is just wait for the opportunity and jump through it when it arises. Poor old Grasshopper down in 11th, all on his own now. Everybody's left him. Very, well, started off well, didn't he, Grasshopper, but it went all kinds of wrong for him in the earlier stages of this race, and he was playing catch up ever since. Then we got Method in 12th, Viking in 13th. Not been his finest hour, and I'm sure he'll be the first to admit that, but he's going to keep going and he'll come back fighting even stronger in race 2. Same with Bennett, a couple of offs, which has not helped his cause. Whitey in 15th with Stealth down in 16th. But we still have one more race to go after this one, so it could all change again. Wadru still leading though. Let's have a look at the time. We are fast approaching the last minute. The fuel light's on for Wadru. Now then, is he going to be okay for fuel? I'm just looking, where is he? He's at turn 8 now, and we are into the last minute, so I think Wadru will, and Osman will get another lap in. Question is Wadru got enough fuel? Now Osman is right onto the back of him now. Osman has got plenty of fuel. He really has been looking after his. Looking at the tyres, Wadru's slightly better tyre wear, but there's not a massive amount in it, and I'm sure it's not going to make much difference to Osman. It is more the fuel. Osman can actually give it the beans, where Wadru has got to be a little bit more conservative with his fuel. We're just going to follow these guys through these last few turns. We have about 20 seconds to go, so these two will definitely get another lap in. So this could make for an interesting run into the end of this race, because one of them is having to keep his eye on his fuel gauge, and the other one really don't care about fuel. He's just gulping it down, isn't he? And I think it is going to be a case of Osman may just be able to make a move on Wadru, because Wadru, he's going to struggle to make it to the end of the race. As everybody, well no, I was going to say everybody, we'll just go back and see some of the guys finish, and it was Brian Moncarney and Unforgiven battling through the final couple of turns, and this looks like it could be a photo finish. No, Brian Moncarney has just got his nose in front, so Brian Moncarney finishes 5th, Unforgiven 6th. Great battle for those two for the line. 7th is Derg, then we've got Willard in 8th, Scooby is 9th, 10th is Nath. Method will finish in 11th, and I'm going to go back up to the top and see what's happening. If I go the right way, whoa, where am I going? There we go. We will go up and see the other guys finish. I promise. I'm just having a look at Wadru, as Osman is going to make a move on. In fact, no, we are going to stay with these guys, because this is for the race win. Wadru, look at the fuel. He really has got to start sipping it. And Osman can really just get the hammer down. Although the fuel light's on now, it makes no difference to him. He has got enough fuel to make it to the end of the race. Wadru, however, this is going to be so tight, as Osman really puts the pressure on. He is forcing Wadru to get his foot harder on that accelerator, as Osman tries to get his car onto the inside. No doing, as Wadru defends that corner really well. Into turn 11 they go. And out the other side, Osman really pushing this one then through turn 12, up the hill. It is still Wadru leading from Osman, but Osman pulls to the inside and makes his move. Oh, and Wadru's run out of fuel. Oh, what a shame. Osman has been gifted the win, because Wadru, well, the fuel just disappeared. What a shame. That would have been a fantastic race to the finish. Well done to Osman, it's got to be said. He managed his fuel really well. Now then, Wadru, is he actually going to make it across the line in second? This is going to get close. Yes, he has. Neil Farmack in 3rd, Stormflight in 4th, Brian McCartney 5th, Unforgiven 6th. Wow. Oh, I'm sorry I missed the other guys finishing across the line. I do apologise for that, but we had to watch that race to the finish. Wow, what a finish. Poor old Wadru had that race probably sewn up, but then ran out of fuel. What an absolute shame. Anyway, hopefully you can join me for race 2 back here in France at Alsace or Alsace, depends how posh you are. I shall catch you all then.